What is this thing called?
Arizona.
No, what is the drink called?
Grand Malo.
What's the whole cocktail called?
Sexy Salma.
A sexy Salma is half Arizona and 2 shots of Grand Malo tequila. I hope you drink this.
Grand Malo. I'm normally not a hard alcohol guy, but I'll.
Today, this isn't technically hard alcohol. So we go 1 shot, Grand Malo.
That's a spicy tamarind tequila.
2. So if we add Frankie's sauce, it'll be even spicier.
That's what I'm saying. That's
1.
That's the sexy.
2. This is the sexy part.
Yeah.
So let's do this. Oh my god. That's why I never became a bartender. I'm gonna just do this. Watch this. I'm gonna go half in here and half in here. Boom. You love it? Ladies and gentlemen, you just saw the mixing of the Sexy Salma, brought to us by San Dimas Liquor, Nate from San Dimas Liquor and Freeway Liquor. It's half Arizona watermelon iced tea, 2 shots of Grand Malo, and the little spicy sauce from Micheladas Antojitos. So like we always do, cheers to you, Frankie, Micheladas for the cup. Cheers to you, Nate,
I love you.
for everything you do for us. Jeff, my guest today, cheers to you, my friend.
Absolutely.
Coming back right after this. Yeah, dude. I like it.
Tastes good.
It tastes like wait. It tastes like those candies.
Exactly. Like those lollipops.
God, I got it right. I knew it. It's those lollipops.
Yeah, that's good.
The Sexy Salma, ladies and gentlemen. Before we start, I need to introduce to you Jeff's pants. They're very loud and they're very in your face. I like them though.
Loudmouth pants.
I like it. That's John Daly?
John Daly.
John Daly, loudmouth pants. And they're perfect for, you kind of have that. Like I've seen you represent that before where it's kind of like the complete opposite of who I think you are. Now, the best part of these podcasts is the fact that we do no pre-show interview. I don't tell them what we're going to talk about. I have some ideas. And I was just telling Nate earlier, I don't know much about Jeff. Jeff's kind of this not loudmouth guy. And the fact that you wear loudmouth pants is very, very ironic because those would be from somebody who is just over the top, very John Daly.
Right.
And you are quiet, reserved. I've known you for a couple years now, and I've said 12, 15, 17 words to you. We even went to a finale. Jeff is a very, very good golfer, and he won a tournament last year, which got him into the finale at Rams Hill, which is a marvelous golf course.
Lovely.
We went out. We spent the night in this big Airbnb. There was a bunch of us, ate, drank, and had a good time. Still don't know much about Jeff. It was wild. Like he's just kind of under the radar.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair. Yeah.
And you ended up winning the finale.
Yeah.
So you are the finale champion. I made you this massive flag.
I was gonna bring that too. I swear I was gonna bring it.
It's a banner. It's what, 6 feet by 4 feet?
Yeah.
Just huge. And it just said Tropicana. What did it say on it?
It has Rams Hill and it says
That's right,
somewhere
right,
on it. Yeah.
right. So instead of like a little flag, I just got him this massive banner.
Yeah, it's cool.
That was good. So that's really all I know about Jeff. Now, Jeff, I know that from 5 minutes ago, Nate asked you, do you live local? And you said yes. So I assume that you live in this immediate area.
I do. I live off of Barinka and.
Well, you don't have to tell him your address, bro. In case
no.
You know, unless you want to send him a pizza or something. But in this general area, which is Southern California for all of you guys that are not familiar with what we're talking about. And from what I can gather, and who your friends are in the club, Jeff is a very athletic individual. You're a very good golfer, and I assume that you have been an athlete your whole life.
I have.
And you've played what growing up?
Baseball growing up.
Okay.
Played baseball through high school. year-round baseball. From
Okay.
winter to, fall, spring, everything.
Right.
Year-round. Kind of got burnt out a little bit on it.
Sure.
I didn't really expect to go to college. I went to JC. I went to Citrus.
Okay.
And then I wanted to play football, so I played football.
You played football at Citrus.
Citrus.
Did you play football in high school?
Did not.
Okay, for those of you that don't understand how crazy that is, to not play football in high school and then essentially go to a junior college and play football, it doesn't happen. Like, you don't just decide, I'm going to go play football like a 7-year-old goes and plays. You have to be, I don't even care that it's a JC. You have to be devoted and be a football player in order to play college football, because that's what you're playing.
Yeah.
And you just decided, I'm going to go play, and you made the team.
Yeah.
And you played.
Yes.
Wow. What position?
Receiver.
Okay.
Well, initially I played football with like friends, growing up, and
Right.
I was always fast. I could jump. I could do everything. But I just never got around to playing football. I was always on baseball. It was always
Sure.
baseball. Everything was baseball. And then, so I got to Citrus. I went there like one semester, and then we were playing basketball, and one of my buddies was
Intramural type stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
And one of my boys that was playing on the team was like, he's like, man, you need to come out, blah 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 blah. And I was like, all right. So I went out, and there was like 40 receivers. I wanted to play DB initially, but
Yeah.
I could kind of see that they kind of already had it set. So I was like, let me just go play receiver. And there was like 40 receivers, so I was like, I might be in over my head, but I ended up being one of the top 3 receivers.
But
so.
how do you know how to go and play receiver at a collegiate level, having never, you have no experience in that environment, right? No, high school football is similar to JC. The players are much, much better.
Right.
A JC is a step below a university, but a step above college. And the guys that play at a JC are the ones that excel in high school. And the fact that you didn't play at all in high school blows my mind, that you can walk onto a team and earn a spot. Like, how do you know how to walk on and play that position? How do you know how to run routes? How do you know, there's whole techniques on playing receiver.
Yeah, I didn't know any of that.
You just went out.
Yeah, I just had really good hands.
Yeah.
I can catch the ball, and I was faster than most.
Yeah.
I can jump higher than pretty much everybody, and I just did my best.
You athleted them,
Athleticizing.
athleticized them. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's incredible though. That's a big feat. I've never heard of that. I guess maybe Rudy, Rudy did it, but
Yeah.
that was Notre Dame. But he didn't play. So you go out and you decide, okay, I'm just going to try out. You make it. You're on the team, and you play well.
I did. Yeah.
And what happens after that?
I had like some lower level offers to go play. I just wanted to play. I just wanted to experience it. So I just wanted to play 1 year. This is even funnier. It was like one of my boys, Melvin, though I still know to this day. I met him. That was when I was 20. I'm 45 now. Just turned 45 on Saturday, by the way.
Oh, happy birthday.
And I'm standing next to him, didn't know him. And then like we have all these pads and all this shit. I was like, I had to ask him, I was like, what? How do you put, like, what goes on first?
That's incredible, bro.
That's how we met.
That is truly, and these guys must be looking at you like, because they've been playing since they were 6 years old.
Yeah.
And you never played any football ever?
Organized? No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bro, that's unheard of. That's
Yeah.
truly, I don't care if it's I don't care if it's high school. The fact that you walk onto a team and earn a spot with no experience is truly remarkable. And
Yeah.
I didn't know that about you, but I just, by seeing you hit a golf ball, I know this guy's an athlete. He knows how to use his body. He knows, it just comes, you just see it, and it comes natural for people. So you do all that, and you finish with college, and then I assume you start a family.
Yes.
And you
Yes.
have kids?
I do. I have a 19-year-old and a 16-year-old boy.
A
Boys.
Two boys.
Yeah, 2 boys.
Okay. Well, here's something that I've learned just from your social media, is that you coach a girls' football team.
Yes, flag football. So I played flag football early on, like shortly after Citrus, we started playing flag football.
Okay.
Because I just wanted to play the 1 year. I didn't
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to.
yeah.
I
You
didn't
wanted
want
to
move
test
on.
it out.
Yeah. Just wanted to experience it. I didn't want to say because I knew I could play. I just never played. So I was like,
Understood.
just let me play 1 year.
Yeah.
So we moved. I met, obviously, I met friends that I still talk to now.
Right.
So we're like, well, let's get a flag football team, and we started playing flag football,
Wow.
and then it moved on to like the highest level of flag football that you can possibly play, and like we're talking about ex D1 players,
Yeah.
practice squad players,
Sure.
maybe didn't play any, but
Right.
they're athletes,
And
you
now
know
they
what I
come
mean?
to your league to play flag football.
Yeah, so we're playing against, we're
Wow.
traveling, we're going to Las Vegas,
And you're still playing receiver?
No, I'm playing DB. I play a little like third and fourth down. Like I'll come in, but I
Okay.
didn't really need to because
Okay.
we had dudes, and so I played DB then,
Okay.
and so that experience I was always interested in coaching, but I never really there was nothing really. I didn't want to coach football because it's so much time. It's so much time.
Yeah, yeah. And it's
Coaching
very
football.
intricate too.
Yeah, so it just wasn't interested in that, and so since girls flag football came along and it just became a CIF sport
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And one of my boys hit me up who I've known for a long time in the flag football world. He's like, hey, we're at Los Altos. I need you to come.
Wow.
I was like, all right, count me in. And so now we're the best team in SGV.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. Come
Here's
CIF.
a perfect example. Okay, but before we talk about your flag football team,
Mm-hmm.
how about your boys? Are they playing anything?
My oldest is like a clone of me. He's a ridiculous athlete,
Yeah.
and we made some bad decisions. I made a bad decision and transferred him to school. I didn't know CIF rules. I didn't know all that stuff, so he couldn't play. It's a long story. Anyway, he didn't get to play his senior year. He had surgery on his ankle. He was
Okay.
playing at LA Fitness.
Football? He didn't get
Football,
to-
yes, he's
Okay.
football. Both of them football.
Okay.
Didn't get to play his senior year. He slipped at LA Fitness when it was raining, and
Yeah.
tore one of his ankle ligaments. He had to get
Okay.
surgery. We thought it would heal in time. It didn't. He didn't get to play his senior year. So
Okay.
now he's still not. He still wasn't ready this year. So he's gonna end up going to Cerritos, and he should be out of there in a year. Like he's a D1 guy.
Really?
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow.
He's
And have you
absolutely-
been working with him since you were a kid? I mean, since he was a kid?
Yeah.
But you never coached him in football.
I coached him when he was like 8 in like flag football. That was about it.
But when he started, he played, I assume, all the way up, Pop Warner and this and the other.
He didn't start till he was about 11
Okay.
in football.
So you
which
put
is-
him into a Pop Warner league and just let him go.
Yeah, you know what? I don't believe you need to play football at 10, 11, 8. I mean, forgive me if your kids are out there that are playing at 6
Okay.
or whatever. I think that's too early. In my head, I'm thinking like they should be learning tackling without pads up
Right.
until they're about 10 or 11.
Okay.
Once they get to junior high, then go play tackle. Play a year or two of tackle, and then
Okay.
go into high school. They'll learn how to hit without using your head.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Kind of like rugby does.
Sure.
And but obviously that's not the case because they still have.
Yeah,
They try to
major
rule it
issues.
out, but
So you just let him, you let him develop and then you put him in later, but you weren't out there on the field running the show like
no, that's not
you
me.
sat back.
No, that's not me.
But you would work with him at home.
yeah.
Now, how instrumental, and I'm going somewhere with this. Now,
Mm-hmm.
before we go there, let's talk about your other boy. What's he doing?
He's at Bonita. He's a sophomore. He was on varsity last year. He's on varsity this year. He's getting some time.
He's a sophomore.
He's a sophomore. Yeah.
So he played varsity as a freshman.
Yeah.
So he can play.
He can play.
What does he play?
He plays corner,
Okay.
a little bit of receiver. Yeah.
Did any of these guys play baseball?
My oldest did,
Yeah.
and he was okay. He wasn't
Yeah.
great.
So what do you think you're better at, baseball or football?
I think football is. I'm better.
Even
at
though
football.
you didn't play until you were 19 years old, you're still better at football.
I think so. Yeah.
Do you think that you would have been phenomenal if you would have started at 11?
Oh, 1,000%.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you think you would have been even better than that if you would have started at 7?
No.
Do you think that you would have been better if you started at 7 years old in a preliminary, just relaxed situation with a very good coach?
Yeah.
Do you think that if you went to a program and started teaching 7-year-olds fundamentals, that would be important or not important till they get to be 11 or 12?
I think that would be very important.
Here's where I'm going with this. And I know that you're a coach, and you're obviously a good coach because your kids are following in your footsteps. And yes, you have to have natural talent. Yes, you do.
Right.
But there is instruction that you must have. Like you just said, it is very important. You have to have instruction from the right people
Yep.
in a positive environment. And I don't mean positive like, hey, you're doing a great job, nice try. Positive in the fact that somebody who knows what they're talking about, who has lived the situation, who has played the game at a very high level and for their whole life, is teaching it.
Yeah.
Now, here's the main point, and I want to get your opinion on it because I think that you are the opposite of the person I'm going to describe. We have had a predicament in my household here where I as well had to move. I moved my daughter leagues because, I mean, she's 8, and yes, it's very young and very early, but the coaching that happens in this league is embarrassing. The coaches have, first of all, I'm not telling you I'm a softball coach because number one, I've never played softball. I played baseball my entire life, but softball and baseball are two different games.
Right.
From the pitching to the hitting.
Right.
The fielding, okay. Situations, okay.
Right.
The game is a lot faster. The ball moves a lot quicker. Slap, hit, this, underhand throws, blah, blah, blah. It's different. It's a different game.
Yeah.
And you have guys out there that not only did they not play softball, they didn't play baseball. Maybe when they were 6, they played baseball. Now they are out there instructing these girls how to pitch and how to hit and how to play a game that they have no idea on what to do. To me, that is worse than not having a coach. If you are teaching kids to do things incorrectly, you're harming them way more than not instructing at all.
Yeah. That's 100% true.
We left Glendora softball.
Okay.
And
At Louis Pompey?
yes,
Okay.
and went to Chino Hills.
Okay.
I've always liked the Chino Hills program. They were the ones that could consistently beat the Glendora teams. And I saw their coaching, and I saw that they had structure in the coaches that we have are volunteers. And yes, thank you for volunteering. Please don't volunteer anymore. But it's unbelievable, man. And you see by their children's actions, the all-star coaches that we've had, that she's played on these teams, their daughters are the worst, not kind of the worst on the team. You're telling me that you can't instruct your kid to play well, but you're going to take a team and instruct other kids?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
And it circulates back to what I believe is a poor board. A board should decide, no, listen, that kid's no good, so how good can the parent be?
Right.
In turn, they should go to the kids that are good
Right.
and say, where did you learn how to play? How did you learn how to
Yeah.
play? Can we talk to your parents?
Yeah.
Let's see what you're doing at home. Maybe we can implement it. Maybe we can use you so that we can become a better program. And I believe that is the most important. And I think you would agree that starting at this age, even it's literally like, it doesn't matter. Just go out and babysit these girls for a while. No, we're not looking for that.
No, you want, yeah. I'm gonna give you a little pushback.
Okay.
On that.
All right.
Only because like you do run into like, okay, say you have a girl who is really good.
Okay.
Right? her parents may have nothing to do with that. She can just be really talented. So now you're running into an area where you want to get that girl's dad or mom or whoever, and they might not know anything, but their kid just really, really talented. You know what I mean? And you can run into the same scenario. So I think you want to get at least some experience. Like they have to have some type of experience.
I believe that too. And I agree with you, but if you spent a week there, you would understand, oh, that kid knows to go tag up on a fly ball, or that kid knows to turn around and look for the runner.
Yeah.
That wasn't natural instinct. Somebody taught her that.
True.
Somebody taught her that at home. True. Somebody taught her to use two hands when she catches. Somebody told her to use her body when she swings the bat and not her arms. So yes, it could be a stroke of luck, and the kid is a phenom. I'm not disagreeing with that. But I would say 9 times out of 10, if the kid is good, the parents have instructed them properly.
True.
Something. So this board here, I'm telling you, these guys are unbelievable. I mean, they're cut JV athletes, like at best, and it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
And instead of bitching and moaning and complaining, I decided, I'll see you later. You know, I'll see you later. And it's not good. And what my point of the story is, you said it yourself. Starting at 7 years old with a strong foundation would have made you what? A great player, better than you were. So they don't seem to think it's very important. They just like, whatever, get their $250 and we'll send some knucklehead out there. And if we do good, we do good. And if not, but I'm wasting my time.
Yeah. Because you run into, like, especially at that age, you remember, if you have a good coach, you'll remember some stuff.
100%.
7 to 10 years old, you'll still remember.
Remember
a lot of that stuff.
I feel like it's almost, and it's a weird thing to say. It's a weird thing to say, but I almost feel like the junior leagues, from what I can see, look down on the people that are more qualified than them. And I feel like these people get involved. Now, I don't know how Chino Hills runs because I'm very fresh over there. I believe that it's different. But what I've seen here, the people that have a say in it, their kids are terrible. And I'm sorry if you hear this. Your kid is terrible. Bottom line.
Yeah.
And it's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment to the city, and their kids are out there playing all-stars, and they're freaking a joke.
But that's why
they're there. That's why they're there.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. And
daddy balling.
It's exactly what it is. And nobody bats an eye.
Yeah.
Now, if your kid's third grade teacher was not qualified, without a license and without instruction, there'd be picketing outside. Who the hell is this person? Right? But with this, it's okay. It's
the
very,
argument
very
is they're volunteers. If you don't like it, you coach. That's going to be their argument.
And I did. And I did coach. I coached 1 year with another buddy of mine who is a phenomenal athlete like yourself and a great coach. And we won. We won the league. We won the league with no returning players, little girls, but he's qualified. He understands the game. He's played it in a college level. He knows what to do. These other guys are jokes.
See, that's like, okay, so like the girls that we coach at Los Altos never played flag. Obviously, this is, first year. So
right.
But me and my boy Juice, Jonathan, he's many years in flag football. I had many years of flag football. So we already knew immediately we are going to be miles ahead of, because they're going to hire science teachers and DB coaches.
Exactly.
They don't know. If you don't know how to play flag football, you're just going to get destroyed.
If you don't know how to do what you are teaching, you shouldn't be doing it. That's like a golf instructor who is a 25 handicap. What are you doing? Why would you go to that guy?
Yeah.
Why is he in that position?
Yeah.
So it's good that I get your perspective as a high level coach and somebody who can truly say, I would have benefited at a young age from good coaching.
Yeah, for sure.
So somehow, and I got a message about this earlier, that they say that it's impossible to stop this. It's impossible to stop this daddy ball. And I don't think it is. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
You put your kid in karate, the dad is not the instructor.
Right.
Why don't we have qualified coaches that get paid? I pay league dues. I would pay an extra $150 a year to have a qualified and somebody who has studied the instruction of the game instead of Joe, who is a plumber during the day, no offense to plumbers, and then comes out and decides he's going to coach his daughter's team and screws them all up.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that? What is that?
I mean, that's a fair point, but I think it's more the league, because then they gotta. Well, if you want to pay extra, I guess they're not.
I mean, how much is this coach going to cost?
Yeah.
Maybe even some college girl softball players. I don't know. Somebody who's actually played the game. I don't know. Give her a couple $1,000s to coach the season. How much is she going to charge?
That's a great idea.
Of course, it's a great idea because I thought of it. Well, listen, I wanted to bring that up to you because, like I said, I know that you are a more than superior athlete in the grand scheme of the world. There's not many people that are athletic and let alone succeed at being athletes, and how important it really is to have good coaching from the ground floor. And I think that this organization, Little League and this and the other with the dad's coaching, is really a disservice to the foundation of developing in sports. And I wanted to get your opinion and see if I'm just out there on a boat by myself going, hey, does anybody think like that? But it seems like you're kind of along.
The other angle is there's travel ball.
For sure. But travel ball doesn't start until you are 10 years old.
Oh, does it? Okay. I don't know how it works.
Really, it doesn't start until you're 10. There's no games for 8U and 6U and that.
Okay.
But by then, bro, it's too late. If you suck at 10, you suck. You know, you're not going to get much better. But if you're good at 10, well, you can get great by 12.
Yeah.
It's very, very important. And yeah, it's not all on the coach. You have to practice at home for sure. And the parents have a lot to do with it. But dude, you get out there and they're teaching the game the wrong way, it's not going to make things better.
Right. Yeah.
Directors, league presidents, officials, whatever it is, do your diligence. This is my opinion. Okay, you guys can do whatever you want with it. But if I ran a league, I would, number one, investigate how much is it really to get professional coaches in this thing? Like, can we really do this? Is this possible? Number two, why don't we try to look for the kids that are great and say, can you show me your family? Is there a way that maybe you could help? Maybe you could make these other kids good. Is there a chance that you could donate your time? I think that's super important.
Yeah.
And just maybe give a damn for a little bit.
I think especially like at that level, I don't think they care about that. I think they care more about just get them out there, let them have fun, and they'll get more serious later on in life. I feel like that's what Little League and all that, the little stuff is all about.
I understand that to an extent. And I'll tell you why. Your kindergarten teacher, I remember my kindergarten teacher. She was good. If my kindergarten teacher was also the plumber on the weekends and didn't have time to have lesson plans or didn't know how to spell or failed kindergarten, imagine when you get to first grade, you're going to be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't learn any of this. I'm an idiot. And that's what happens. There's no development in these leagues because it's brushed off as they're just little girls. They're just little kids.
Yeah.
Let them go out there and play. Why? They can. When you send them to school, you want the best. You give a shit what their teachers went to school. You give a shit about their grades. You give a shit about how they're doing in class. Can they read? Can they potty train? Like, all that stuff. But here it's like, all right, see you in a couple hours. Like, no, parents, like, come on, make us think about it. Yeah, so, all right, we'll get off that rant. I think that I just specifically wanted to ask you about it because I know that you are at a different level than most individuals. Let's talk about golf, though.
Okay.
Your experience with golf is that I would assume, like I said, I don't know this gentleman. I know him, but I don't know him.
Yeah.
And from what it sounds like, you played baseball growing up.
Yep.
Then you decided, I'm going to go play college football, which is incredible. And then you went to go play flag football. And somewhere in between there on a Sunday, you decided, I'm going to go play golf
Yeah.
at 30 years old. Right?
Well, I mean, I golfed.
You hit balls.
I hit balls. I
Exactly.
never really golfed. I would say I probably started golfing probably about 7 years ago.
Right. You would go to the range and try to hit balls over the net.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
That's what we all did.
At
Glen Oaks.
yeah.
And then you'd go out on the golf course once in a while and you'd hit 3 balls off the tee and you'd have 1 good hole and 6 bad ones and you'd be like, whatever, I'm going to go play baseball now.
Yeah.
And then that was the end.
Yeah.
And then at some point you decided, wait a second, I'm too good of an athlete to be this bad at golf.
Yeah.
And did it take practice or did you just kind of decide I'm going to learn this? Or do you even study the game?
Yeah. I'm a nerd when it comes to golf, to be honest. I went to the range, obviously, but just going to the range is not enough. Like
Right,
just hitting
right.
balls, it's not enough. If you want to be good, like you have to like know what the swing plane is, know
Yes.
what the functional swing
Yes,
plane is,
yes.
know what
Yes.
the laws of the ball flight. You gotta like know that stuff, and you gotta look at your swing
Right.
and like know why you're hooking it,
Right.
why you're slicing it. You know what I mean? So, and like I got tired of sucking,
Right.
so I wanted to be good.
Yeah.
So I just started looking at my swing. I started looking at videos on YouTube and like, okay, well, I'm slicing. Why do I slice? Okay, let me go to YouTube. I'll look at that. Okay, well, maybe I'm doing that. I'll look at my swing, and then I'll just keep going back and forth. It's a. You could go down a rabbit hole, and it can go left. It can go left.
If it's going left, just move the ball back in the stance and you'll be fine. So you did do a deep dive into your research of essentially how to play the game and how to swing the club.
Right.
I guess not how to play the game, but how to swing the club
Yeah,
and how to stop making XYZ mistakes.
yeah.
And you've started to understand it. Do you find that even though you're a great athlete, you know how to control your body and you know this and the other, that golf at times is not conquerable?
It is the hardest. It is the hardest thing. 100%. It's the hardest sport. Some people don't call it sport, but it's the hardest sport for sure.
Yeah.
Because like just when you thought you had it figured out.
And there's been so
Yeah.
many times, and I'm sure that you have too, you watch a video or you do something and you go, I got it.
That's it. Yeah.
I figured it out.
About 30 times.
There's
at least.
so many times that I've said, I figured it out.
Yeah.
And I go out, just hone in
Yeah.
on what this new thought is,
Mm-hmm.
and I go out and it sucks.
Yeah.
And then about 40 balls in, I go, you know what, forget this. And I just take a swing like I don't give a shit, and the ball just.
Yeah.
I think that golf is a game where the less you do, the less you think, and the less you try to control your body, the better you will be.
Yeah.
There is no other game, nothing at all, except maybe a free throw. But there is nothing else in any sport where you have almost unlimited time to make an athletic movement.
Yeah.
Nothing else. I mean, there's no other game. Most other games require what? Other people. So you are going off of something. You have a reaction off of their action,
Yeah.
and you have to do it quickly. Somebody hits you a ground ball, you have to make a move on it. Somebody's throwing you a pitch. Somebody hits you a ball in tennis, ping pong, basketball, whatever. You have to make a quick move.
Right.
There's no thinking. When you get that ground ball, are you telling me that you're thinking, okay, I got to turn my wrist this way and tuck my elbow in?
No.
But those
All
are the things
reaction,
that
yeah.
people think about when they stand over a ball.
Yeah.
It is almost impossible to stand up and talk your way through walking to the door. What I don't understand. Like, what do you do first? Do you
Yeah.
lift your knee? Do you bend your toe? Do you stand up? It's just a reaction of events.
Yeah.
But yet people stand over a ball and go, okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my shoulder and then tuck my right elbow. Bro, You can't do that.
It can get ugly.
You can't do
It
that.
could get ugly. Yeah. Sometimes you just want to be athletic, and then, but like you said, sometimes I feel like fuck, I'm hitting my driver well, and then I go the next time and I'm like slicing. It's just slicing. It's like I'm like fuck. I'm feeling like I'm doing the same thing as last time, and that's where you got to kind of figure out why you're doing it wrong. What are you doing, and then hopefully fix it athletically. You don't want to be robotic, obviously, because you're just not going to hit the ball far. You have to be athletic if you want to hit the ball a little bit further. You know what I mean? Like, how far is your 7-iron go?
175 yards.
That's about same my 7-iron. So, like 3 months ago, last year at Rams Hill, I was hitting my 7-iron like 165.
Okay.
Which is really low for me. At
Okay.
least. I feel like it's really, but for most people, that's fine.
Yeah.
Even guys on the PGA Tour, did
Yeah.
165, and they're fine.
Right.
But I knew I had a little more in the tank. So it's, just fixing maybe the club face a little bit, like closing it a little bit more at impact.
Angle of attack.
Yeah. Like there's some
Tweaking.
things.
There's always something to tweak.
A little bit.
It's never perfection. Now, speaking of being an athlete, how important do you think it is to be an athlete and play golf?
I don't think it's extremely important because I've seen some bums.
Yeah,
really
it's not.
well.
It's not a very athletic sport.
No, I don't think so.
It doesn't require a whole lot of athleticism. If that were the case, like, okay, Michael Jordan, great athlete, good golfer.
Yeah.
Steph Curry, great athlete, great golfer. But you see some of these guys out there, they're nerds, dude. Like, they couldn't catch a basketball, let alone shoot one. But they have this swing that is great. Now, whether it's, I think that's the difference. We and those guys that I mentioned have a natural ability to do it. The guys that are really, really, really good, I think, have learned a technique and have studied it so much that they've taught their bodies how to move in a way to be athletic.
Yeah.
And we go based on, I could do that, you know? Like, I'll practice and whatever, but it's like, at the end of the day, I can, I don't play basketball, but you give me a basketball, I'll shoot a three-pointer and I'll make it.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people don't have that, so they have to really study hard. Now, I don't know what's better. I really don't. Like, I don't know if it's better to be a student of the game and learn it that way, or to just be a natural athlete and play well-ish.
Yeah. I think it's tough because when you're starting like from the bottom, say you never played any sports.
Yes.
You didn't play baseball and, basketball, whatever. In that case, I think you kind of have to start with some fundamentals, just like the basics on like club face. For me, I think club face is like
everything. Control the face, control your game.
Yeah.
100%.
So like you got to start off with club face control, maybe start off with chipping, maybe, go from there. But like you look at guys like Matt Wolf.
Yes.
Like his
crazy
ass swing.
Yeah. Jim Furyk. But they hit, or even like, what's his name? Jake Knapp or something like that. Man, he hits the ball a long way. And they have their own swing. There's no one way to hit a golf ball. No.
And like you posted the video with Mo Norman. Earlier. And I feel like he's like the epitome of feel is not real guy. Because remember what he said? He's like, I don't move my hips. He's like, my hips don't move. And you look at the video, his hips are like,
of course. It is feel versus real.
Yeah.
And there's whatever feel you have that works for you. Nobody can tell you that. What I like to feel is that my right ear gets closer to the ground. And although you might be hitting the ball like this, you might feel like it is. I can't tell you that it's not happening.
Yeah.
And I do see that a lot in the videos that I make, and I tell people, okay, do this, and they're like, but you're not doing that at all. I go, I feel like I am.
Yeah, exactly.
And as long as it works, that's the other point you're saying. There's no correct or incorrect way. If I hit a ball backwards and upside down, standing on my head, and it goes in the hole, you're not going to tell me it wasn't a good shot. You have to say, okay, well, hey, he does it a different way.
Yeah.
And there's not very many things in life that you can say, well, you're not doing it right, and be incorrect, because they're probably not doing it right. But this game, if your ball goes in the hole, or not even in the hole, it goes where you want it to go.
Yeah,
You can't
for the
tell
most
me,
part,
yeah,
yeah.
you can't tell me that I did it incorrect
As long as you can do it
consistently.
to an extent, because we'd be on the tour if we can do
Right.
it consistently.
Right.
So to an extent, like, consistently for us. Let's say that.
I think my next question to you is, as you get older, and you said you're 45,
Yep.
so you're getting to 50. It's weird, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that your golf game is going to improve, or are you at a peak?
No, I'm definitely gonna get better.
Okay.
Yeah. And I feel like I can hit the ball even further.
I do too.
Yeah.
I'm hitting the ball further than I've ever hit it.
Yeah.
Now, when I started at 30, I would hit it harder,
Yeah. Yeah.
but now I'm hitting it further.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which, that's a big lesson for you guys that are starting golf or are 15 and 20 handicaps. When I was 30 years old, 10 years ago, I would swing 118 miles an hour, and the ball would go 60 yards left and come back 120 yards right.
Yeah.
And I would be on the right side of the fairway,
Yeah.
and the ball would travel 245 yards.
Yeah.
But in realness, it would travel 330 yards because it was going left to right. Now I've shortened my swing. I've slowed down my swing. I've let out the tension in my arms, and I just tap it, and it goes 270, 275. A great drive goes 300. I can still get the numbers, and I'm doing less.
Yeah.
So I was wondering what you were going to say there, because a lot of people think I'm getting older, I can't hit it as far, my game is done, and that's just not it.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I see if you do the research on these SCGA events, not even senior events, just events, there's no young kids that win it. It's these 48, 52-year-old guys, their kids are out of the house, they're playing golf every day, and they have it dialed in.
Yeah.
Their short game is out of control. They might hit it 260, 255, but that next shot is 4 feet, 8 feet.
What do you think is more important? Driver, approach game, chipping, or putting?
I think inside of 100 yards is the most important part of the game.
You do?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. I can hit my 7-iron 170, let's call it, same as you. Let's call it 150. Let's say you hit a 150 shot with whatever club. Most holes are 350 to 400 yards, par 4.
Yeah.
So you're hitting 150 and 150, 300. If you can get that next shot, right? 150 is ridiculous, but because you can hit it farther. But let's just hypothetically say 150, you are 80 yards out, 60 yards out, 100 yards out. If you are automatic from that number, you're going to shoot even par, because it's an up and down every single time. Now, 150 is a joke. I was just saying that. Let's say you hit it 200. It's a whole new game. 200, it's 400 yards. You don't need to have a driver.
Yeah.
You don't. You can hit a 5-iron 200. You can hit a 3-iron 220. As long as you know how to put the ball in play off your tee shot, right, with whatever club, and you can get your second shot close and your third shot within 100 yards.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. That's the game from 100 yards and in, because a lot of guys are 3-putting, a lot of guys are chunking chips, and it's all over. It's all over.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I didn't start playing really well. I didn't hit my driver I probably just started hitting a driver maybe 3 years ago.
Okay.
I always would hit a 3-iron.
Okay.
Because I couldn't hit. It would just go right in.
Yeah.
Every time. So I just got sick of it and I just stopped doing it. But then I just said, fuck it. I'm just going to hit my driver. And it wasn't great, but it was out there, and, I could scramble around and, but like you said, like chipping, because I played some of my best rounds where I didn't even hit a fairway. Right. But I would get around the green, chip close, tap it in for par. And you can shoot some pretty good scores with that. At the same time, if you can hit the ball 300,
If you can hit the ball, listen, if you can hit the ball 300 yards to the
Yeah.
middle of the fairway, and you have, let's say it's a 400-yard par 4.
Mm-hmm.
You hit a 300-yard drive every single time to the middle of the fairway. Now what? Now what's important?
yeah,
I'll give you the ball 100 yards out. I'll give it to you. 100 yards out. What are you going to do? Are you automatic from there? Or are you still going to make a 4? Or are you going to make a 3? Or are you going to make a 5? Can you hit a 100-yard shot?
oh, I love a 100-yard shot.
If you hit a 100-yard shot
Yeah, that's my favorite.
and you're on the green, what do? Do you 2-putt it? Now, can you hit a 100-yard shot to 2 feet? The most important in golf is from 100 yards, 120 yards in. I'm telling you, I'll give you the ball on the 100-yard marker.
But you still have to be able to chip, even if you miss the green.
Exactly.
So it's from 100 yards in, everything.
That's exactly what I
putting,
said.
chipping,
That's
all
it.
that. Yeah.
100 yards and in is the most important. I don't give a damn if you hit the ball 300 yards or 30 yards. You got to be able to play from 100 yards and in. And a lot of the amateurs go, well, yeah, but I can't hit it off the tee. Hit a 7-iron off the tee. Hit an 8-iron off the tee. I don't care. Have it go forward.
Yeah.
And then hit it again and be an ace from 100 yards, and you'll break 90. And they go, no way. Well, do the math.
Yeah.
Do the math.
You really
It's
would,
a fun.
yeah.
Tell me your favorite. I'm going to fill you up here. What's your favorite course? Hey, Nate, by the way, this Nate from San Dimas Liquor came up. Is this your drink? Did you think of this? You did? What are you, a
Really?
scientist?
It really does taste just like.
It tastes like the. Tell me the name of the lollipops, because I'm sure you sell them there.
I don't know. This is Spanish.
What is this, a trick
Said
question?
it's Spanish.
Is it.
It's like a corn on the cob.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this drink tastes like the little corn on the cob. What does that have? Chamoy on it?
No, it has the tahini, right?
Tajin.
Yeah.
No chamoy?
Tamarindo.
Tamarindo.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You know what I mean. The little corn on the cobs. Salute. Thank you, Nate, for this. The dirty Salma. Is that what you call it? Spicy. Sexy Salma. It's kind of perverted. I can't. Salma Hayek? Wow. Love it. So once again, it's Arizona watermelon fruit juice cocktail, which is delicious and only has 7,000 calories, and Gran Malo tequila. What is this Gran Malo? I've seen this. Who is this owned by somebody in particular? Okay,
I don't know, but it
It's-
came to the States about 6 months ago.
came to the States 6 months ago. It's spicy tamarindo liqueur. It's not even tequila. Made with tequila, but it's a liqueur.
Because it's a low alcohol.
Blanco and sugarcane spirit, made with tequila. Okay, anyway, you should try this. This might be my new thing. And I bet you this would be good with just lime juice also, right?
Even with sparkling soda.
Sparkling soda like Pellegrino.
Or Perrier.
Wow. Okay, well, I like it. Tell me your number one golf course in Southern California.
That I like to play or that I think is the best.
You had to play one golf course in Southern California one more time, and then no more. Where do you play?
I'd probably go.
Southern California.
I'd probably go back to Rams Hill.
I would too.
Yeah.
Rams Hill is pound for pound the best all-around adventure. You're just so far out there. I don't think we need another one, Nate. I think we're good. Thank you, sir. It is such a destination.
Yeah.
It is literally traveling through the desert,
Middle of nowhere.
middle of
It really
absolute
is.
nowhere. It is halfway between Palm Springs and Mexico, east of San Diego or east of Temecula.
Yeah.
And you drive and drive and drive and drive and drive, and you're in the middle of the mountains, in the middle of the canyon, and then all of a sudden you get to this little town called Borrego Springs, population 7. and you don't think of much. You can't see much. It's just desert. Then you get to the golf course, and it's a whole experience. It's massive.
It really is phenomenal. It's gorgeous. I didn't think it was going to be as nice as it was, and tough. Those are by far the toughest greens. And
They were insane. They were
By
like
far.
concrete.
Yeah,
they
it
were
was weird.
concrete.
I was hitting what I felt like were gems, and it would just hit.
And
Usually,
go.
my ball just hits, takes one stop, and stops.
Yeah,
It doesn't
yeah.
spin back. It
Right.
doesn't really go forward too often.
Right.
And just hits, and then just goes past. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
It didn't. It took me to like maybe hole 15, where I was like, okay, I gotta hit it maybe a little short and just let it run up a little bit.
I think you figured it out.
Yeah,
But you ended up playing really, really well that day.
Yeah, I played.
You
I
shot
mean,
77, I believe.
78. I think.
78 with a
Yeah.
7 handicap. So you shot net 71, and you tied with Mr. Aaron Jimenez. And Aaron Jimenez is a 30 handicap, and he shot 102. So they tied or whatever. He shot 101. They tied, and they go to a playoff on the putting green at Rams Hill. And I mean, obviously you destroyed him there, but his excuse or his answer to why he didn't play well was, or why he didn't putt well, is because he was tired and he wanted to drink. Now, mind you, we got there 24 hours prior and he did nothing but drink until,
He put it down.
and he did not drink at all during the round. I take that back. He said, I didn't drink at all during the round. I said, you didn't drink anything? He goes, well, I had 6 beers, but I didn't drink. I go, okay. So immediately when that was over, he went back to his whiskey and drank another 3 bottles when we got back to the house in the jacuzzi. It was absolutely, and we're doing that again. And you have another opportunity to win. You got to play well at Upland.
I know.
And, you're in a low handicap bracket, so there's not too much competition. There's a couple of your boys in there, Bryson and Dave. Botello's in there. King Lou's already in.
Now, oh, wow, what's his name?
Richie Mason's
Yeah,
in. But he just won.
He just won.
So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And, of course, you can't forget Ricky Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
So
Cheat code.
he hasn't won one yet this series. So in October, the 20th, things are going to get good. That's going to be the final one. And I think that this Rams Hill experience is going to be the best one yet. I think that we now know what to expect. Rams Hill has put in all new sod. I don't know if you read about this.
No, I didn't.
It's all new grass everywhere on the golf course. They didn't overseed. They just put in a new type of sod so that they can stay open year round.
Oh, really?
So this is a brand new golf course. It's unbelievable. They probably spent $1 million doing this, maybe more. So we're essentially going to play a brand new golf course.
Damn.
And it's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
So before we go here, I want to ask you, I know you're number one SoCal golf course here. My second question to you is, what do you like? And I say this in a loose term because I know that you're not, Mr. Social in the club. You do your thing, you come, you play, you got some friends in there. It's not like you're out there, making a ton of new friends, but you do. I mean, a lot of the guys.
Yeah.
What has been your best experience being in Tropicana?
You know what it is? Like you said, like I signed up for this because this is way outside my box. You know what I mean? I would never think that I would do something like
A podcast,
this. So
Yeah, I saw your name and I go, wow.
yeah.
I've heard
so I
him
was
say
like, you know
11
what?
words. I thought you were going to come on here and give me some kind of, I don't know, like some agenda. I go, well, I'll listen to it, I don't know. But no, and guess what? Just like everything else, you're really good at it. So I don't want to toot your own horn, but, there's a lot of people that have not much to say and they don't know how to say it. But just like walking onto the Citrus football team, you just adapted.
Yeah. No, I think like it is like meeting like a lot of new dudes like Patello, like Mason, like just playing with Alan. I played with them probably like a year ago, but and just meeting all them.
Was that one of your low points playing with Alan? That's what Vic Fonseca said. That's his worst day of his life. No, go ahead. I'm just kidding.
Nah, Alan's cool to me at least.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what the other thing going on. But.
No, Alan's great. Him and Fonseca have this weird, like, what is it, like a boyfriend girlfriend energy? Like, it's like, and then the other one's like, It just goes back and forth. It's really fun.
Yeah.
But so meeting the guys and like kind of getting out of your own world of your immediate friends and meeting other guys. Yeah, that's
And it's never awkward.
No.
Playing with
No.
And I actually, to be honest, I prefer the old way when we used to just randomly.
Yes.
Because I like just meeting new people
Right.
and playing with new people. That's how I like met Mason
Sure,
and
sure.
Alan and like
Right.
all those guys and it is fun playing with new people, but it's also fun playing. I play with
your boys.
Bryson
Yeah.
and Dave. Who I've known since I was like 10. So
I think that and here's the deal. Those selections were never random. I selected them.
okay.
So I would know
Who knows who?
who
and
knows
type of-
well who would get along with who. Like
Okay.
I know people like I know that I could put you and Bothello together and it would be great. You're very similar. Where I know that if I put you with somebody else, I go, that's probably not a good combo. You know what I mean? Like,
what's funny about Patel? Because I met him at Rams Hill.
okay.
That's the first time I
Yeah.
met him, and I think he was kind of new at that time.
Yes,
And,
yes, he was.
Super quiet.
Right.
And I thought I was quiet.
No, he's quiet.
But he's way more quiet
Yeah.
than me. But we talked in the back, when everybody was, I don't know where everybody was, but we were talking, and then we got paired up, and then he must have drank like 12 beers.
He's great, bro.
Yeah.
He drinks. He goes to Friday morning skins, and we're walking up the 10th fairway, and you just hear, and I look over, I go,
Yeah.
and he goes, yeah, man, I'm not working today, with that big smile. I love that guy. He's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
He's marvelous. And that's the thing. There's so many of these guys that are not like you. They're not in the spotlight. You're not going to hear from them a whole lot at their own choice, but they're good people and they're good golfers, but they're not like big personalities where they have to like talk a lot. Like me, I walk in a room and you just hear my voice. I just talk and I talk and I talk. And it's gotten me to a certain location, but sometimes I wish that I could just ride under the radar, like just kind of fly through. And they go, who was that guy again? When I leave somewhere, they go, that guy's an asshole, or I love that guy,
Yeah.
like because I have that kind of personality. Whereas you guys are just kind of like, everybody's like, that guy's cool. That
Yeah.
guy's cool. You don't ruffle feathers. You don't like get in people's way. Everything's
Yeah.
happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
And that's good. And you're the perfect person to play with because I don't see you having like meltdowns and
No.
throwing clubs and like that's not a way to play
Yeah.
and make friends.
Yeah, that's tough. It would be tough playing with somebody like that. And I if say Botello, for instance, if he was like that, I would have a hard time. I'm like, dude, pick up your fucking club. Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I know you're playing bad because he played bad. According to him, he played bad for him. And I mean, he was a gem to play with, but he was quiet. But we ended up, we just played well together. I probably drank about 10 beers. He fucking, and then he was playing bad on the front nine, and he was like, he's kind of like, fuck it, I already lost,
Cashed out.
So we're like, he's like, you want to play 2v2? So we played with, it was Mason and what's his name, the young buck,
In the group? Carrie?
Kerry, yeah.
Okay.
Mason Carey versus me and
Okay.
Botello,
Okay.
straight up in the back nine, and I ended up sinking a putt, which turned out to be for the tie.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know it at the time. I was just fucking hitting the putt, but yeah, and then he just turned it on, man. he was. I think he played like 1 under on the back or something like that.
Yeah, he gets
Like,
streaky. He's a good player. He's got a good swing and he's got a good attitude. And at the end of the day, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
It's a fun thing. Well, that's good, man. And like you said earlier, this is out of your comfort zone. So I appreciate you coming out of your comfort zone and doing this. I really think that people are going to benefit from hearing from you because they don't hear from you, and they're going to be like, I know that dude. And you'll see, at the next tournament or this or the other, they're going to come up and they're going to say, hey, I really liked your interview. I know you better now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good because you are a good player. You're a good dude. And it's important for people that are starting their golf journey, and there's a lot of them in the club that are just starting, that are figuring it out, that are catching the bug of golf, to know that they can go to somebody like you that is experienced, that is a good athlete, that is a good player, and go, hey man, any tips for me? Can you help me with anything? Can you look and see what I... And I think that, to me, is a very, very important part of this club, where a lot of guys have this idea that I'm not good enough.
No,
I'm not good enough.
yeah.
I'm not good enough. And I've always said, hey, they said, I'm not good enough to come play with you. I said, listen, you're good enough, number one.
Yeah.
And if I'm playing you for $10, $5, I don't want you to be very fucking good. You know, like I want you to be bad, actually, so I can win a couple bucks. And it's not about the money. It's just, you know, it's the competitive thing about the game.
Yeah.
But I want people to understand that even if you think you're not good enough, it doesn't matter. Like playing with not so good golfers. If I'm playing with 3 terrible golfers, it slows me down.
Right.
If I'm playing with one that is not great but can still kind of move the ball, it does nothing to me. It doesn't affect me at all.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
So I want people to understand that. I want them to step out of their comfort zone the same way you have, and experience more of the game instead of just hitting the ball where it's redundant, but what comes from it. Playing with these people, learning about people, making new friends. You've made friends through this. And it might not be an everyday friend, but it's like, hey, let's go play. Or we're paired together in a tournament. I know you. Let's hang out. You go to a finale. You hang together. Battle of California. Blah blah blah. You start meeting more and more people. And to me, that has always been make new friends, have more fun, and then at the very end, play more golf.
That's
so
what it's all about. Yeah.
I appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Jeff Lopez. I feel like I could talk to you for another 3 hours because I don't know much. Just the fact that you came out hard hitting with the story of walking on to citrus football and never playing football in your life is absolutely incredible. And I knew it. And I'm glad that I got to talk to you about the coaching and your experience and your importance to society in your new coaching role. And good luck to you. And please send me a schedule, because I want to take my daughter. My daughter's 8, but soon she will be not 8 and hopefully playing.
It'll be big by the time she
I
gets
think
it.
so.
It'll be huge.
I think so. Is 100%. It an entertaining game?
Yeah, it's fun, man. It'll be big. I give it like our quarterback, for instance. She's gonna get a scholarship playing flag football. Yeah.
Oh man.
So
right,
it's gonna be like in another 5 years, it'll be like where Arizona State's gonna have a team, and like right now it's lower level, but you still get to go play college for free. You know what I mean? So
the athletes will make money.
Absolutely.
I love it. And I think now with social media, it'll become more and more a thing. Now, I remember this was a thing. Didn't Vince McMahon have a league like this? Like, those girls with the big tits and all that stuff running around?
The lingerie football league.
Yeah, it was like lingerie, but they also had pads and they would hammer each other. That was like not, I don't know, that wasn't even interesting to watch to me, right? Like, it was weird.
Yeah, I didn't love it, to be honest.
I didn't care that the girls were in bikinis and stuff. Like, I was like, I don't know. Like, those two worlds to me.
The fact that they even signed up to do that
it's weird. It's really suspect.
Weird.
Like, be a lingerie model. That's okay.
Yeah.
Be a flag football player. That's okay. But you don't have to put the two things together. Like, I don't get that. But hey, neither here nor there. So please send me a schedule that I want to see it. If you guys are in this area and would like to go support Jeff and his team, wear your loudmouth pants and get out there. Mr. Jeff Lopez, I appreciate you, my brother. And once again, our boys, Frankie from Michelada Antojitos, Michelada Golf, we love you. Thank you so much. And of course, last but not least, Mr. Nate from San Dimas Liquor and Freeway Liquor in San Dimas and West Covina. West Covina, the world's greatest liquor store. My name is Jimmy. I'm with Tropicana Golf, Mr. Jeff Lopez, and we will see you next Friday.